everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to our subject GE 106 Purposive Communication. If you are not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please hit the like button and the subscribe button there so that you can be updated to our lessons in GE 106 Purposive Communication. So previously we have discussed about the communication principles and ethics in communication. So we have learned what communication is and how we should properly be communicating with other people. Now in this topic, we will be discussing communication and globalization. So what are our objectives for this lesson? First, you must explain how cultural and global issues affect communication. Second, appreciate the impact of communication on society and the world. Now, question, and I want you to think about this deeply. So what do you think has contributed to the easy access and exchange of information these days, and why? So now, what are the contributing factors why it is easier for us to access information and of course to share information? What do you think is the reason why it is easy for us to share information and to receive information as well? What do you think? Okay, some of you may say that there is easier access and exchange of information because of the technology we are enjoying today, right? So previously, in order to receive information, we have to write letters, telegrams, use telephones. But right now, with the help of the media, the different forms of technology, like your gadgets, your smartphones, your laptops, computers, it is easy for us to share information. With just one click of your finger, we can already send and receive information with the help of the different applications on your gadgets on the different forms of media. We can email, we can chat, we can also call each other, right? And most especially is that we are using our social media for better communication or for to easy access in information, because a single chat can already be seen by many people. You will no longer send it one by one, right? No more group messages in text messages, right? Or no more sending of different letters to everybody, walking and sending letters to everybody. Instead, we are just capturing letters using our social media account and send it to our group chats, right? Okay. Now, in transacting or communicating in a global setting, what vital preparations must be done and why? Again, in transacting or communicating in a global setting, what vital preparations must be done and why? Okay, when I say global setting, not local setting, global setting already. It is where we are communicating with different types, different ethnicities, races of people. So now when we are transacting with them, with other people who are different, who have different culture from us, how should we be preparing in order for us to be understood by them? Okay. Again, what vital preparation must be done in order for us to be understood by other people? Okay, just comment it down below. Okay. Now, what is globalization? So when we say globalization, it is the communication and assimilation among individuals, ethnicities, races, institutions, governments of various nations supported by technology and compelled by international trade. So again, globalization is the communication and assimilation among individuals, ethnicities, races, institutions, governments of various nations, supported by technology and compelled by international trade. So what do you understand about globalization? Okay, again, this is where different types, different ethnicities, different races, different culture of people are communicating. For example, the recently concluded Miss Universe, there is, we can see globalization there because different ethnicities, different nationalities were there. People with different religion, people with different background are communicating for a certain event. So for example, when we say globalization in a classroom setting, when we say communication and globalization, it is people coming together to communicate, even if we have differences. So if you're Catholic, Christian, Muslim, you're Filipino, Japanese, Chinese, okay, there is a mix of differences that is already globalization. And this is supported by technology and compelled by international trade. So for easier communication in globalization, we need to use technology. We need to be emailing one another. We need to be chatting one another, sending emails for us to be understood. And we are doing globalization because of international trade. So here in trading, international trade, there are products where we are importing and we are also exporting. And because of that, we are hereby being directed to globalization to communicate to other people because we need their product. Like in the Middle East, we need their oil byproducts, right? And here in the Philippines, people need our agricultural products. So other people from the other side of the world who are in need, of our products here, they need to communicate with us as well as us to them. So due to globalization, the more you become exposed to diversity, the valuing of uniqueness or differences in gender, preference, color, age, religious affiliation, ethnicity, education, social and economic status, and political beliefs. So because of globalization, we are being exposed to diversity. Again, diversity is the what? Again, okay, diversity is being different. However, although we are different, we have differences from one another, we need to unite in order for us to achieve effective communication in globalization. So we need to have unity in diversity. However, unity in diversity and globalization also have barriers. We cannot just immediately communicate effectively because of these barriers. So first one is cultural relativism. We say cultural relativism, this is where you feel different or there is a lacking of understanding to the other culture. Second is lack of knowledge of others' culture, the discrimination and harassment, and language differences. You want to say cultural relativism again, this is the ability to understand a culture on its own terms and not to make judgments using the standards of one's own culture. So meaning, if you are new to that other culture, you lack any knowledge about that one, but you give judgment to them, that is already relativism. You are judging them why they are acting like that. Okay? Because you only understand your own culture and you do not understand what the other people are doing who are different from you. So that is one barrier in cultural barrier for effective communication in globalization. And of course, lack of knowledge of other cultures, of others' culture, is also a great barrier when it comes to effective communication in globalization because you are ignorant on what they are supposed to be, on what are their traditions, their beliefs. Okay? And next is discrimination and harassment. So we tend to discriminate other people who are different from us. People have darker skin than us, people who are shorter than us, people who are poorer than us. So we tend to discriminate with them, or people who have different sexual orientation than us. So we tend to discriminate and harass those people because we think that we are superior to them. So because of that, because of discrimination and harassment, that is also that is where also considered as an as a barrier for effective communication. And next is language differences. So we speak differently, right? We Filipinos speak Filipino. We can speak English. We can speak Hiligaynon or whatever our dialect is. However, other people from the other countries, other nations who were just taught with their dialect or their mother tongue, who cannot understand what we are saying to them because they only understand their language. So language differences also is a great barrier when it comes for effective communication. That's why we have English as an international language so that there is a common language that we can understand each other. However, not all people around the world are privileged to learn English. So we also have to consider the language differences when it comes to effective communication in globalization. Now, how can we become an effective communicator? So these are the strategies to become an effective global communicator according to Krizan in 2014. So first one, you have to review the communication principles. So you have to review why we are communicating, right? Think about what is the message that I want to convey to others, that I want to convey to my receiver. So how can I communicate properly to them? What would be your ethics in communication? Second is analyze the message receiver. So think about who is my receiver, who am I sending my message to? Then be open to an accepting of other cultures. Okay, you have to be open-minded when you want to become an effective global communicator. Then learn about cultures and apply what is learned. So learn about other culture, or you have to understand their traditions, their values, and beliefs so that you can become open-minded to them. You can be accepting of their flaws, or you can be accepting of the things that you find discriminating to you, but to them is not, and vice versa, or offensive to you, but to them it is just natural, or what do you think are the ways where you are offending them because of your differences. And of course, consider language needs. If you can learn their language, that is much better also. Now, question before we end our lesson. Okay, a question before we end our lesson is, what would be your possible strategy for you to become an effective communicator? So I want you to formulate a possible strategy for you to be an effective global communicator. Just write it in the comment box down below, okay? So again, so that is for today. That is for our second topic on GE 106 purposive communication, which is about communication and globalization. Thank you, everyone. See you next meeting.